to God. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never failed me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. To me all my life. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice.
Blessings, 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 Friday evening. Once more again on the Mellish Family Studio. We come again with a great, great, great topic.
Yeah. Glory be to God. I love you, Lord.
Today's topic is how should parents deal with children who physically abuse them.
All my days
Great topic to all the listeners out there.
held in your hands.
Just share the live amongst your friends and family.
Wake
We're
up
gonna build up this live.
until I lay my head. I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. To me all my life. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able,
Why she want Mr. Cheryl in here?
of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in the darkest night. You were close.
Want to shout out to Sir Barry tuning in.
I've known you as a father, known you as a friend. I have lived
Want them to big up CD Dudley on the outskirts.
of God. Hey, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
No matter what the situation in life is all about God Almighty. Put him first and everything come after. Seek ye first the kingdom of God Almighty. So as we get inside on Friday evening, this is how we do it.
Hey, yeah. Baby, when your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile for
Want to big up to Reggae Storm all the way in Germany.
Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70.
Oh my gosh. The music just turns me on.
Hey, yeah. Baby, when your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep
Want to shout out to K-Face Production. CBP.
your mouth still remember the taste of my love. Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? And darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. Oh yeah. And baby, my heart will still follow hard at 23. Oh yeah. People fall in love.
Want to shout out to the Montagonians out there all the way in Jamaica. Glendon Salem.
The touch of the hand.
Big up to all the Torontonians.
Well, me
We're in Brampton, Mississauga.
do everything.
Today's topic: how should parents deal with children who physically abuse them? Just my number to call: 647-326-4797.
Me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of a thousand stars. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud. Baby, we found love right where we are. When my years are gone and my memories fade, and the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul would never grow. All is evergreen. Oh yeah. Baby, your smile forever in my mind and memory. Am I really here in your arms? Just like I dreamed.
The music just turns me on.
Want to shout out to Reggae Storm Radio, all the way in Germany. Big up to the UK crew.
Here in your arms, just like I dreamed it could be. I feel like we're frozen in time. You're the only one I could see. Hey, I've looked all my life for you. Now you're here. Hey, I've spent all my life with you. All my life. And I never really knew how to love. I just understand how I see. Yeah.
We're gonna beat up this live. We're gonna big it up for Ella. Today's topic:
I can read.
how should parents deal with the children who physically abuse them? This is a call-in program. Number to call: 647-326-4797. We're gonna build up this live. I know you're asking for Chaplin on it, but she's to arrive.
Come to you.
Sarah Lenina.
Don't surrender. You can win in this thing called love. When you want it most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's letting down, don't give up on your love. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Oh yeah, that's the way it is. When you question me for the simple answer, I don't know what to say. No, but it's plain to see.
Want to shout out to St. Vincent crew, tuning in the building for Ella.
We're gonna find
Georgetown, Spring Village.
it. So don't surrender. You can win in this thing called love. When you want it most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and
This is how we do it on a Friday evening.
how do I get through a day without you?
Oh my God. The music just turns me on.
At the Access Wisdom Radio. Shout out to all the newcomers tuning in.
How do I
Just so we can't live without the females. They brought us here.
How do I get through a day without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, I need you in my heart.
Big up Carefreeze,
Oh,
CVP production.
my soul, if you ever leave, you would take away everything good in my life. And tell me now, how do I live without you? I want to know, how do I breathe without you? If you ever go, how do I ever survive? How do I live without you? There'd be no sun in my sky. There would be no love in my life. There'd be no world left for me and
Shout out to Stephanie.
As soon as you come home, I'll be waiting to rub your tired feet, erase the stress and strain of the day in whichever way. Oh yeah. Oh, hey. As soon as you come home, I will greet you with the purest open arms and a love that knows no aim, no pretend, understand, oh yeah. And I will always be there.
We have to play this verse one more time for real on the outskirts.
As soon as you come home, I'll be waiting to rub your tired feet, erase the stress and strain of the day in whichever way. Oh yeah.
Shout out to Anthony Greener.
Oh, hey. As soon as you come home, I will greet you with the purest open arms and a love that knows no aim, no pretend, understand, oh yeah. And I will always be there. You pick the time, I will always be there. Come rain, come shine, yeah.
We have to play it one more time so all the viewers out here. Trust me, today is an interesting topic as usual. How should parents deal with children who physically abuse them? It's a calling program. Number to call 647-326-4797. So we're gonna build up the live, share it amongst the friends, the family.
The stress and strain of the day in whichever way. Oh yeah. Oh, hey. As soon as you come home, I will greet you with the purest open arms and a love that knows no aim, no pretend, understand, oh yeah. And I will always be there. You pick the time, I will always be there. Come rain, come shine, yeah. I know you must be tired, let me hold you. Couldn't bear to see you fall, or even hurt at all. Oh, no, not at all.
Wanna pick up the Accra crew all the way in Ghana, tuning in.
Oh, yeah. Come tell me about your day. Can I share?
Pick up to all the Lagos crew.
Was it good? Was it bad? Did someone make you sad? Relax, you're in my head. I change all that to glad, oh yeah. And I will always be there. You choose a time, I will always be there. I'm gonna have to let you know soon and very soon, yeah. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. The most wonderful thing happened to me today. Oh, I met this one woman.
We have to play it one more time. This one, Mr. Barris.
I'm gonna have to let you know soon and very soon, yeah. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. The most wonderful thing happened to me today. Oh, I met this one woman, eh? Every man's waiting a lifetime to meet. She gave good vibes, cut me right down to size. Soon she'll be shy.
Look who we have in the building, ever looking so gorgeous, ever looking so beautiful. Chaplain Odette. Good night, good night. So you doing?
Great, I'm blessed. And I'm here once again to have a good time with my fans out there.
Definitely, man. And today's topic is what?
Oh my gosh, it's so spicy. Parents, you need to tune in. You need to like, share, and subscribe. It's the parents who've been dealing with physical abuse from their children. How are you coping? And how I want you to call in and let us know how to cope. And we also gonna shed some light to teach you how to cope with situation like that.
Trust me, man, what's a great topic, trust me. A lot of parents been through a lot. Some even pass away through this topic. So we're going to build up the live. And now to all the new viewers, just please press that share button amongst your friends and family. That's how we do it on the Access Wisdom Radio. So in the meantime, Mr. Barris.
I'm gonna have to let you know soon and very soon, yeah. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official.
I'm from Hanover.
Gonna let you know.
Right over in Toronto, Canada.
The most wonderful thing happened to me today. Oh, I met this one woman, eh? Every man's waiting a lifetime to meet. She gave good vibes, cut me right down to size. Soon she'll be sharing the comfort of under my sheet. But it's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can. It's not official yet. Gonna let you know.
Big up the Reggae Storm Radio all the way in Germany. I know the time is very, very late now. What's it? Saturday morning, all the way in Germany. So big up to all the Germans, to all the UK fans tuning in on the Access Wisdom Radio. Must shout out. Definitely.
Put me right back in sync. Soon you'll be sharing the comfort of under my sheet. But it's not official yet. Gonna let you know soon as I can.
So as we get inside the Vice One, Mr. Tony Prophet, this one called the Gideon Suit. People out there without God Almighty or nothing. You see what's going on in Ukraine. Just a man, perilous time we're living in. I hope God Almighty continue to bless those people on that side. Continue to keep them safe. So in the meantime, this one called the Gideon Suit from Tony Prophet.
He leadeth I and I in green pastures. He restored my soul and made me whole. Whoa, the armor of God, I have to put it on every day. Too much evil out there and me can't take it off.
Oh my God.
The Lord is my shepherd, He leadeth I and I in green pastures. He restored my soul and made me whole. Whoa, the armor of God, I have to put it on every day. Too much evil out there and me can't take it off. The Gideon Gideon suit me, I tried all the way. Too much wickedness and me can't take it off. It's on.
We have to put on that Gideon suit, definitely.
The Lord is my shepherd. He leadeth I and I in green pastures. He restoreth my soul and make me whole. Whoa, the armor of God, I have to put it on every day. Too much evil out there and me can't take it off. The Gideon suit me, I tried all the way. Too much wickedness and me can't take it off.
This is how we do it
The whole heart.
on a Friday night,
Too much evil out there and me can't.
approximately 7:27 Eastern Time.
Paving the way. Corruption is the darkness of the day. Oh well, what I've seen with my eyes is not a surprise. It's just the fulfillment of prophecy. Rumors of war, despising the poor. Life are no conquered by fair. Oh Lord, hunger become the order of the day.
Just be Priscilla, definitely we have to put on that armor.
Lord is my shepherd.
When you're going out,
I and I.
when you're coming in.
Pastures. He restoreth my soul and make me whole. Whoa, the armor of God, I have to put it on every day. Too much evil out there and me can't take it off. The Gideon suit me, I tried all the way. Too much wickedness and me can't take it off. It's on, the whole armor of God. Too much evil out there and me can't take it off. Bloodstain and violence paving the way. Corruption.
So the viewers out there, please press that share button.
What I've seen with my eyes.
Come on, share the live.
Surprise.
Interesting topic today as usual.
You see, rumors of war, despising the poor. Life are no conquered by fair. Oh Lord, hunger become the order of the day, and the rightful storage of strife. The whole multitude gazing in amaze. The city caught into a city. The armor of God, we have to put it on every day. Too much evil out there and we can't take it off. The Gideon suit, we are tried all the way. Too much wickedness and we can't take it off. It's on. The armor of God. Oh, speaking of the Father. Oh Lord, Jah and I. Jehovah and I. He lives in my soul. He reigns deep in.
Oh my God.
Just with Janaya.
The music just
Tony
turns me
Prophet.
on.
Oh,
Great artist doing some fabulous work.
oh Lord, Jah and
You
I.
can check him out on his YouTube page, TONY, space PROPHIT, on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. You get all his major song on all major platforms. So one more time from Mr. Tony Prophet. This one called it Jah and I.
Oh, speaking of the Father. Oh Lord, Jah and I. Jehovah and I. He lives in my soul. He reigns deep in my soul. Jah and I. Jehovah and I. He lives in my soul and he's taking full control. Don't you know we are so unjust? You don't know in whom to put your trust. Oh Lord, trust in yourselves. Don't try to trust in your own. You don't know in whom to put your trust. Oh Lord, Jah and I, Jehovah and I. He lives in my soul. He reigns deep in my soul. Jah and I.
Jah and I, definitely. Without God Almighty, I said and again, we're nothing. So, draw closer to Emmanuel. Today's topic, trust me, man, was a great topic because a lot of parents go through some physical abuse, lose their lives. So, this is a calling program. So, viewers out there, number to call 647-326-647-4797. As I said, 647-326-4797. Definitely. This is how we do it on a Friday night. Chaplain Odette, so you're doing in that seat as usual.
Oh my gosh, I'm so anxious to touch this topic because I interview a lot of parents, and what some are going through, it's heartbroken. So we're here to shed some light, on parents who don't know how to cope, and parents, who want to share. So again, it's a calling program where you can share your views, your comment, and teach other parents as to how to deal with situations like this. How should parents deal with children who physical abuse them? First and foremost, I just want to thank Jehovah. I just want to thank him for this opportunity that he have given unto us today, where we can breathe, where we can teach, and where we can shed light on some topics where parents out there need help. So parents, please don't be afraid to call in, because we need your views, we need your comment and your concern to help other parents. Hey, we are the shoulder for our next parents to lean upon, all right? So very soon we're going to come back and get right into the program, and elaborate on how should parents deal with the children who physical abuse them, all right?
Something's gone really wrong.
See ya now. What's going on?
What's going on?
Jamaica, walk on. We need to wake up from the slumber, yeah. I don't need it anymore. Start from Jehovah. Perilous times ahead. Chance so all of the evil will disappear. Call from Jehovah. Kneel in the reverence and faith. Save us, Lord, we surely need him there. Major, when I check the paper, can't believe this is Jamaica. All woman them a kill and all, baby them a rape ya. Big man, you know have no heart or soul. Oh, you can say them is 8-year-old. Could you say tongues will have to confess?
Oh Lord, we need you right beside us, Father. Lose the chains that bind us, no longer shall.
We have to play this one more time. This is how it's on the Power of Woman. With I DJ Tank and Chaplain Odette.
See ya now. What's going on?
What's going on?
Jamaica, walk on. We need to wake up from the slumber, yeah. I don't need it anymore. Start from Jehovah. Perilous times ahead. Chance so all of the evil will disappear. Call from Jehovah. Kneel in the reverence and faith. Save us, Lord, we surely need him there. Major, when I check the paper, can't believe this is Jamaica. All woman them a kill and all, baby them a rape ya. Big man, you know have no heart or soul. Oh, you can say them is 8-year-old. Could you say tongues will have to confess?
Oh Lord, we need you right beside us, Father. Lose the chains that bind us, no longer shall the children of the light sit back in silence. No, it can't continue so, Father. Make the evil go tumbling down like the walls of Jericho.
Radio personalities, yes, DJs. Don't you see what's going on? The evil that they have been calling down are doing my people harm. That's why we are back on Jehovah. Perilous times.
We have to call on Emmanuel no matter what.
Chance so all of the evil will disappear.
It disappears.
Back on Jehovah. Kneel in the reverence and faith. Save us, Lord, we surely need him there. Every day me fear for the life of my little son. Them just find two in a river. Show down condolence to the family. Do me no know none. God know this is a spiritual showdown. The dragon them start appearing a human persona. Them a declare say them come fi take over. That's why we a chant and a send back the demon Lucifer and him legion. You are 63 and I do the max rank 4 sex for the 11-year-old. That's wrong. And I deny say you do it when them find your DNA and you all get the kidney infection. We have it called from Jehovah. Perilous times ahead. Chance so all of the evil.
Definitely we have to call on God Almighty no matter what.
telling you, man, perilous times are here. Call on Jehovah because He's the remedy for all what's going on in the world today. All right, parent, I'm standing with you. I'm standing behind you. We are here for each other. Remember, no matter how rough the situation might seem, once you look up and call on Jehovah, I'm telling you, He is a remedy for all of this. All right. So guess what happened? Don't be afraid to call in. I know a lot of my people that I interview saying to me, Chaplain Odette, I want to call in, but I'm so nervous. There's nothing to nervous about because your voice can save a parent who are going through some situation. Some parents are about to commit suicide. Let us stop that now. Let us help each other because guess what happened? We are a brother's keepers. All right. So first and foremost, for those of us who have children, you might, and those who do not have children, you might have a sister who have children, you might have a brother, an uncle, somebody who have children that you are mother for those children when their real parent is not around. And as we know, children live what they learn. And for a child to just wake up one day and hit the mom, I will tell you, or the father, it doesn't work that way. It has to be something that child is going through. Physical abuse, that a child can abuse their parent, is not nice because the Bible teaches us that we should train up a child in the way that they should grow up, that when they get old, they will not depart from it. So when you see children grow up and we teach them the way of life and they started to, first, I don't believe, DJ Tanka, a child just going to wake up one morning and hit a parents.
No,
I don't believe that way. You parents, you have to, read along the line. You can see red flag. The children first gonna start off with verbal abuse. They're gonna mouth off that parents. When situation like this happen, you know something is going on. Spend time with your children. Ask your children what's going on rather than come down on them. A lot of parents kick the children out of their house, and that's just the wrong thing because guess what happened? When you throw them out, I can tell you for sure, the devil happy to receive them. So take time out to know your children because I have 5 children, and if one day my children wake up and start mouthing me off, I know something is definitely going on. So you need to take time out and talk to your children. Find out what is going on in your children's life. All right, parents, so don't be quick to get anger. Okay, you have to slow to speak, understand your children because for me, I don't know how I can handle a child, really physical abuse me because, I don't abuse my children. So therefore, if a child should physical abuse you, I want you to call in and tell me how you're going to deal with that. From a male point of view, I always ask DJ Tanker, how will he deal with situation like this?
Well, definitely when a child or children start to abuse man like me, what I have to do first thing, we have to draw close and know what's the reason why you're acting up like that and know we go forward because I'm from Jamaica and I see a lot of that. In my country, when children act up more time, rush the father and mother with even a machete, sometimes they run to the police station. Now when they run to that police station and the police come, they lock him up. It could be bad or good because they go through, get locked up for the night and even the prisoner affect them so much they don't used to that life. Now when them come out now, them start to fight again with that parent. So definitely have to sit down, talk to them, what's the reason why you're behaving like that, and then you take it from there. Trust me, it's a very, very hard task to do because you get rushed with a machete or a stone and now you're afraid. You live in fear in your own house again. So it's a very, very, very tough situation, to be honest. Very.
And I can add to that, there's some parents who told me they're so afraid of their children, and it shouldn't be like that. We're not supposed to be afraid of our children. We are supposed to love and nurture our children. Vice versa, the children also have to love and respect, us as parents. So for the parents out there who say they're afraid, I don't think that's the right, approach. No. I just want to share a story. When I just came to this country, it was like over 30 years ago. And I went to work. I was working with a Middle East family. and the father was looking at the television show, and the son, he wanted to watch his own show, and I'm pretty sure the son was not even 15 years old, and the dad was arguing his point to say to the son, okay, daddy is looking at a show, you know, in a very nice calm tone of voice, said, daddy is looking at a show. After daddy finished looking at his show, then you can have the remote to do whatever. The daddy also was drinking a cup of coffee, and that son took up the coffee and throw it into the father's face. I was there because I just came here and I was so angry. I was saying that father need to discipline that child. Never to know I walk into the home and don't even know the laws of this country. The mom was there and said to the father, calm down, it's okay. You're the wrong one. You know, you should have give him the remote. Do you hear what happened right there? Instead of that mother said, okay, now we have to see what's going on with this child. She put all the blame on that father. So that father there was like his hands tied. You know, so in a situation like that, it's like the child did not get a discipline to say, okay, you shouldn't do that. They did not even take time out to find out why that child acting like that. Because I can tell you for sure, the child will not just wake up one day and start to get aggressive. There's something going
true.
on. All right? So we're going to take a break, and I want you to call in. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're going through the same situation. Let us know if you've been through that situation and how you're coping with situation like this. Welcome back. Yeah, call and talk about the situation. We need to hear from you. We need to know what's going on in your life. We need help for parents out there who are seeking for help. You know, as I mentioned, okay, the topic again is how should parents deal with abusive child, a child who abused their parents. You know what? When I was interviewing some parents, they said in the country like, you know, Canada, it is so sad that they talk about, children abuse, how parents abuse children, and they really, crack down on it, hard. But when the children abuse parents, from what we are hearing, it's not so harsh. But I understand today that no, that's not true. They really, really, take it into consideration. Okay. When a child really abuse their parents, there's a penalty. Of course, there should be a penalty.
It should be, because
yes,
they will abuse them.
Abuse, and it start from the home. It start from the home, because we as parents, we instill into our children, that what we want to get out from our children, and we want the best for our children. So I don't think, many parents out there will instill bad into their children. Sometimes it can be peer pressure why your children react. It can be something why your children react. And this also boils down to, if you have a very close relationship with your children can come and say, mommy, this is what I'm going through. Because I can tell you for sure, I have 4 children, and the moment something going wrong, that goes, mommy, I want to talk to you, and we will talk, and they will say what's going on. A lot of parents also, they see so many red flags and they ignore their children. They ignore their children rather than embrace their children to find out what's going on. And again, you see, when a child, keep doing this all the time, you have to put down, your rules into your home, because if you don't stop it right there and say to your children, if you don't stop, this is what's going to happen. I can assure you that your children will go out of your home and they will do the same thing to others, and they might end up in a place where you don't want them to end up. A lot of parents also know that the children need to be talking to. The children need to stop what's going on, but they embrace the situation and said, okay, I love my children. Yes, we all love our children, but at the same time, we have to discipline them in a way, talk to them in a way to tell them, if you do this, you have to face the consequences. And you don't tell them about the consequences, and when it happens again, you bypass it, because you're sending a wrong message to your children. You're sending a message to your children to tell them, you can get away with this, because if I tell you this is the way I'm going to discipline you, and when they do it again, you did not discipline them, I'm telling you, you're encouraging your children. All right, so we want you to call in. The number to call is 647-326-4797. Let us know what's going on. We want to hear your feedback. All right, so we're going to take a break again, and we're going to come back and elaborate on that some more.
I was alone, with no hope of salvation. I held out my hands, and the rain fell. And as the waters held me close, I remember you. Old man, your race is run. Think it's over, but it's only begun. Child is born, who has to face the world you're living. It's a dangerous place. Listen to the voices crying to be free. Can we be the promise that we promised to be? Love and understanding are better than a war. People just laughing cause they've heard it before. Night chills in plenty town.
All right, welcome back. So we're talking about how should parents deal with children who physical abuse them. So DJ Tanka, you have some light to shed on this one as a male point.
Definitely, we have a lot of light to share, because a lot of male go through this experience with their children or child. So, what is the definition of physical abuse? I'm going to break it down a little bit to you. The word abuse covers many different ways. Someone may harm or volunteer the adult. Physical abuse is intentionally body injury, including sharping, pinching, and shoving. So definitely when you see a child start to react that way, you know that's a red flag, as Chaplin said earlier before. You take in consideration, okay, this is getting out, and you draw them closer before you get further. So that's the first step. When you see those things, draw your children or your child closer to you and say, what's the problem, man? What's going on? And then eventually, when you have that close relationship, they will open up, and then now you start to take it from there. Because if you make it get out on, it's going to be worse and maybe cost your life. So you have to take it from there, definitely.
And that is so true, because yes, when people hear physical abuse, the only thing came to the mind is, okay, somebody killed a mom, somebody really draw blood. These are all physical abuse, but it can also be a pinch. It can also be a step on the feet. Yes. It can be so many things. And when you see all this this minor one, you have to take step. A lot of parents also said to me, it's so embarrassing to tell someone that your children do this to you. Hey, I tell you, it's better you feel embarrassed, tell someone in order to get help, than stick with that situation and make that situation escalate. Because I can tell you for sure, there's so many parents, who passed away, who died because of the physical abuse of their children. Yes. Some parents decided to fight back. Some parents run away. Some parents, throw the kid out there, and later on you hear the kid get worse, and that child, end up in the mental asylum or in prison. prison or in jail. No one want to hear the children are in prison or in jail. So I can tell you for a sure, parents, there's lots of help out there. You know, you can call a friend, ask a friend if you don't want to do it, because a lot of parents said to me, it is so embarrassing, you know, to tell someone that your children, angry with you, that your children hit you, that your children do so many things. But I think it's better to reach out to someone, to get help rather than keep it to yourself and make that situation get worse. All right, so call in and let us know what's going on. Don't be afraid, because we're here to help. Just like we want your help, we want your feedback. So we want you to, call in and share it with someone, to tell someone how to deal with this situation that you went through. You might be the one that God want you to share it. You go through it and come through it so you can share it and teach someone how to overcome a situation like this, or how to deal with this situation.
And add a little bit more in the chaplain on it. We are in Toronto, Canada right now, but my background is Jamaican. In Jamaican, to be honest, our culture is to grow tough and rough as a parent and shield our child in wrongs. A lot of Jamaicans do that. I don't know if it's a culture or what. Are they afraid or something? So when you shield that child now, you know it's going to be very, very dangerous. Because I saw it in my own eyes. Every time the mother tried to steal the child, he get worse and worse, and she become afraid. And eventually, she called the police one day. The police came, lock him up. In 2 seconds, the mother down there again to bail him. So he never face that punishment. So he come out again and start to acting more and more and more. And definitely, she lose her life because of that, because she have a heart attack. So stressful.
Wow.
Stress out the poor lady.
All right.
So definitely.
So, yes.
To be honest, in the Caribbean, we don't get that, speaking of Jamaica, we don't get that support to go to like a physio or something.
No.
It's very hard down there now, to be honest.
And you know what I will say, DJ Tanka, in
Yeah.
my time growing up, I'm telling you, you rarely see, I know it's there, but you rarely see a situation like this where a child will really, slap the mom or something of the sort, right? Because in the Caribbean, we know the discipline that we get. The moment you hear your father or your mother call you with a tone of voice,
You
you
run.
know you have to go, right? You don't even think about hitting or talking back to your parents. Because as old as I am today, my mother can tell you, I never even use a dirty word to my mom.
No.
No, we can't do that.
We don't do
So
that.
when you get to physical abuse, that was a no-no from where I grew up. Because not your mom, but some elders in your village, if you do something wrong, like passing without saying hello, gratitude is a big thing. And courtesy is a big
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Without that, if somebody call your mama and say, guess what happened? Or that just passed down here and she did not say hello. That, I'm telling you, I'm getting a good discipline for that.
you're so
So
right.
think about me now. I have to be so out of my place to go hit my mom or talk back to my mom. That was very rare in where I came from.
You're so right, but when I go back down there, the culture changed a lot.
yeah.
To be honest, this younger generation, even look in the face and don't say morning no more. None of that. So it's changed on there, to be honest. Very
Wow,
changed. So
wow, and it's so sad. It is sad to know, because the word of God is not I who say that. It said, train up that child in the way he or she should be, that when they
Yes.
grow old, they will never depart from it. The Bible also teaches, it said parents, because there's a lot of parents who really push their children. They really provoke their children.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that your children have right to abuse
them.
your mom.
You're so
I'm
right.
not saying that, but parents, you also have to know that how to treat your children, because pushing back when a child push, it does not gonna solve the situation. It takes love, just that tender love. Talk to your children. Let the children tell you what is going on, mommy. That children need love, nurturing, in order to lie down. I have Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a big child, and anything went wrong, she come and lie down with me and daddy and said, oh, mommy, and she will just tell you. She will just tell you what's going on. And sometimes they're minor issue, but you have to deal with the minor issue. That's what children want. They want the love and nurturing. And I'm telling you, even though at times they will, drift away from the teaching, they will come back.
They will come back,
Because
definitely.
they're also rooted, because they're already rooted and grounded in whatever going on. I know bad friends out there can lead them off, but
That's
I
true.
can tell you for sure they can find their way back, like the prodigal son. All right? So please call in. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what you're going through.
Storm is over, yeah. Now I've got to see the sunshine. I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light. And whenever I look up, I couldn't see the sky. Sometimes when I'm standing, it seems I got to walk a mile. My heart could be crying, yet in the middle of a smile. But then I climbed the hills and saw the mountains. I hollered help 'cause I was lost, and I felt the strong wind. Heard a small voice saying the storm is over. And I can see the sunshine.
All right. Welcome back. Someone texted me and said to me, discipline your child, it can be a harsh thing and it also can be a good thing. Well, we talk what kind of discipline are we talking about here right now? Because a child needs to be disciplined, but what kind of discipline? That's a question.
That's
what
a
kind
good
of
one.
discipline? Because guess what happened? No matter what happened, you have to chain up that child. And there's different ways of discipline. It doesn't mean you have to abuse your children. It doesn't mean. I remember one day my daughter came to me and he says, "Mommy, is it true in the Caribbean they your parents beat you with a belt or whatever?" I said, "Yes, we get the beating." So she goes, "Mommy, can you beat me?" And I goes, "You won't like it." I said, "You don't like it. That's not something that you're asking to get. You have to discipline your children." A lot of parents say, "I will fight back." I get so many different answers when I interviewing parents, because there's some parents say, "I will never dare stand up and let my child physically abuse me, because I will discipline them in a way that they cannot raise their hand again." All right, let me tell you something. First, before you think about hurting that child, because when they talk about his discipline, they're talking about
Yes.
hurting. Before you hurt that child, put yourself into that child or your children's situation. They're crying out. Some of them crying out for help, and they don't even know how to come to you because they don't have a relationship with you. So therefore, they're the closest one to them, just like your husband or your wife. When you're angry, the first person to blow out upon is the person closest to you. So that child might not know how to talk to mommy or daddy, and guess what happened? They use their hand, which it's wrong. So parents, rather than throwing your child out there, rather than hitting back, get to know your children, embrace your children, talk to your children, take them out for coffee. Let them lie down in the bed and ask what is going on. And I'm telling you, when they should explain to you, you will be surprised to know what your children is going through. They are little people. I call them little people, and they need a shoulder to lean on. So I can tell parents, it's not a nice thing when children abuse you. But I know they're not just wake up one morning and started to throw fits. They did not wake up one morning and started to get angry and aggressive. It takes time. So when you see the little thing coming, keep your children, call your children close to you, come, hug them, kiss them, and guess what happened? They will spill to you. So parents, please take your time out to know your children. All right?
I'm that star up in the sky. I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope. When my back against the ropes, I can feel it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest. I am the mountain. I am the tall tree. Oh, I am the swift wind sweeping the country. I am a in the valley, oh, I am a vision. I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look him in the face and say.
You know, DJ Tanka, one
Yes.
parent said to me,
Yeah.
he said, no matter what my children do, I will not retaliate. They're living in the same house. We will deal with the situation. Nobody don't have to know. But, you know, for that parents, I just want you to know that's not the way.
No.
Because if you don't stop it from inside of that home, it can escalate and the child can go out there and they can harm other people. And I'm telling you, it can be worse, you know, rather than fix. You have to fix it now.
You have to fix it because like
now.
you're shielding that child or children. So you have to fix it by the tree from it young. That's what my grandmother always said. Fix it from early because it's gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse.
Definitely.
It's gonna get worse. The children need help. They're crying out for help. Peer pressure is a big thing for your children. Your children will come home. They cannot do it outside, but they know if I do it inside, I can get away with certain situation. We also have to teach children the aggressive behavior. It's not a tolerate, and they have to face the consequences in whatever they are doing. We don't ignore situation like this, and we don't really tolerate it. So parents, you know, let us ask our children. Let us spend time with our children and know what's going on, because it's so hard. You go into work with a blue eye when they ask what's wrong. It's my child who hit me there. It's not right for a child to do that. You have to stop that child right away. I'm telling you, earlier on I said the first thing to do, not to call the police, because that's not the right thing. But if the situation keep going on, you have no choice. You have no choice. It's better you hand it over, the child over to authority. Let them deal with the situation rather than that child end up and kill you or kill a family member. Because if you don't stop it right now, I can tell you it's not going to stop itself. It's going to go on and on until it gets worse, and your children might end up, or child might end up in a place where you don't want your child to end up.
And definitely you damage your child too. You put
Yes.
him in the wrong path in life because his life gonna messed up. Trust me, he can go to prison for the rest of his life and even die. So you're hurting you and you're hurting that child. Definitely.
It's so true. The child can violate. They can violate the other people. Like what they're doing is not right. So you have to know how we're gonna do that. You know, sit back. If you need help when your child, if you're afraid to do it in front of your child, you know, go in a room, or when your child is at school, call. Let somebody know what you're facing. Tell them, you know, you need help, because if you don't get help for your children, I can tell you when things happen, you're gonna say, if I didn't know. And I'm telling you, that's going to be too late. So parents, let us put our foot down. Let us love them. Let us show them, hey, we are your mom, or we are your dad. We're here for you. Don't let the situation get out of control. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back.
Ain't no stopping me now, since I've made it through the concrete. You can make it through the concrete. Oh Lord, I am a plant springing up from out the concrete, encountering struggles, not accepting defeat. I am a plant springing up from out the concrete, rooted in wisdom by the water down so deep. So during days of spring, no tender caring I know, facing rejections while destructions overflow. Seeing the light was so hard for I, out of condition my mind, knowing faith was my substance and denial today decline. So I am a plant springing up from out the concrete, encountering struggles, not accepting defeat. I am a plant springing up from out the concrete, rooted in wisdom by the water down so deep. My life was considered of no consequences. Oh well, my life, oh Lord, was of low significances.
All right, welcome back. Parents. We need to hear from you. If you're going to parental abuse in your home, your child violating the right of others. So parents, you are the one to talk with your children. It doesn't matter that it is a parent's right. Their home is a place where your child should start and get discipline from, not out there. So you have to first do it in your home, right? Because when you do it in your home, the child might not say yes, mommy, or no, daddy, but the child is getting in here, so they know what is right from wrong. But if you sit back, not doing anything, where abuse is concerned and your children, you are setting up your children to end up in a place that you don't want your children to end up. All right, your home is a place where your children will learn how to interact with the world. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. So when your children started to get aggressive, when you see sign that your children did not get from home, you know they get it from out there. So you need to embrace them and teach them the way of life. Teach them they cannot be like this, and if they do it, they have to face the consequences. All right, and don't tell them that, and when it happen again, you bypass that, because you're sending a mixed signal to your children. You have to speak what you're speaking and stand up for what is right, because you're not doing your children any good if you say this is what's gonna happen, and when that child do it again, you bypass that. You are the one who encouraging your children. That's when your children will go out and do whatever and come and hide at mommy's corner, because mommy is shielding that child. You don't shield your child when your children is doing something wrong. Let them know it is wrong, and mommy can't deal with it now because it's overbearing. So I am going to hand you over to the authority. All right, so parents, come on. Let us stand up as parents. Let us do as the good book said that we must do. Train up that child in the way that he or she should be, that when they grow old, they will never depart from it.
From all my sins and sorrows, you better believe it now. Call on a friend, just call on a friend, Jaja. Call on a friend, just call on a friend, Jaja. How do you feel to take an innocent life in the street? Tell me how you feel. How do you feel when you're hungry and you don't have no food to eat?
All right, call on a friend. DJ Tanka, I honestly, you see, I tell a lot of people, sometimes
Yes.
we might have a little bit of food in the house, or we might not have the clothes that other people have out there. But you see, the love that you give to your children, it makes a big difference. Embrace your children, because your home is a place where your children first learned how to interact with the world. He is learning what acceptable
Yes,
and what
that's
not
right.
to. He is learning about consequences and behavior and the accountability. So when they do something wrong, they must know, hey, this is your punishment. We love our children, but there's time that we have to be
Time and
firm,
place.
where we have to say to that child, you have to stay right there until you can show mommy or daddy that you're learning, because if you
change.
don't do it at home, you're going to go out there and you're going to do worse. And later on, I hear children who said, oh, mommy did not teach me this, or daddy did not teach me that.
A lot of them
Parents,
do.
you have to be ashamed of yourself, because God lent us these children, and then these children they learn from us. You know,
Yes.
if we say go out there and fight, they will go out there and fight. If we say don't go out there and fight, they won't go out there and fight. So we have to teach them the way of life. We have to teach them how to interact, because you can't sit back with your mouth closed and say, listen, I love my children too
No,
much.
no,
If you
no.
love that child, you're going to discipline your child and tell your child there is consequences for every bad things that you have done. Remember, mommy can't do it for you, daddy can't do
No.
it for you when you're at age, but what we can do is to instill in you the good morals of what you should do when you get old.
Because definitely a lot of them even come into the mall and spit on the mother there and kick them right there. So definitely they didn't train that child good at home, so definitely going to disgrace you in the public. Then now you feel so ashamed, you want to eat back, and there's a fight right there. So
Right there.
you didn't do your work properly, definitely.
You know, one time I took my children to a banquet before the COVID, right? And
Yes.
there's some children there, and I can tell you for sure. Honestly, I don't see where discipline was in the home. My children, they were sitting, and then the parents walk up to me and said, Mom, your children are well behaved. Yes, they are well behaved, and that's what every parent should do. I'm not saying
Yes.
that a parent will do all her best, and that
And
child
then
still
change
turn
it.
out to be different the way the
Different that
mom
way.
is and dad is teaching them. I'm not saying that because these things do happen, but what I'm trying to say to parents, when you see that your children, you know, really crossing that line, you have to put your foot down.
down.
And if you think you can do it, then there's other consequences that they have to,
Different
go
ways.
through. And you have to tell your children, well, listen, I can't do it, so I have to call in whoever you want to call in. You have to tell them what's going to happen. And if they continue with the situation, then you as parents have to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you know. Answer the words of your mouth in the meditation of your heart. Be acceptable. Or else you know that you're gonna be responsible. Sin. And I say you find yourself for the instrument of influence. Use it in a positive sense. Or else you're gonna pay the consequence. Rebel speaks again. I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next prime minister. I say if you watch what you saying to me daughter, cause in the long run she could be your doctor. Oh, you fi mention that to me son Dan. I mean a woman little boy it on a gunman. Still you never listen. Your ears must be missing. Every day you say you're gonna shine and a glisten. You're talking for the scream and the lighter and the whistle. It look like you forget all about that blessing. The words not from your mouth. Meditation of your heart should be free from negative. Have every sort. Want a good cow, you better grow a good calf. Be careful what you inject. What you inject in the youth them thought. And just watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you say.
Right, welcome back. DJ Tanka, you wanna elaborate on anything for a bit?
Yeah, I want to say few words, because definitely, what if a children or a child have mental health issue? That is a different program you have to deal with in a chaplain order, because
Yeah.
some of them mental health issue condition, some mental health condition, some seem consequent with CPA, such as attention deficit hypertension. So some of them are bipolar. Now when you have bipolar child, now it's totally a different game now, because
true.
you have to know what you're doing that child. That's a different one chaplain or that. So if that child is bipolar, you have to show them extra love and show them how you're gonna deal with that situation now, because they're sick. And you have to know how you do it. So definitely it's a hard one, man.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because you're gonna know when your children have a condition, right?
Yes.
So in a case where that children have a depend upon different condition, bipolar or stuff like that,
Yes.
you have to know how to deal with these children. And in a case like that, again, you need help. You know, they have to teach you, because that parents, maybe they have different children before normal, and this child now have a condition, a situation that they need help. So that parents have to go and get help as to how to deal with certain situations.
Something like
So
that.
you you know, if that child like swing a hand or do something, they're gonna teach him. Maybe you have to hold their hand. They're gonna teach. I don't know if they restrain such children, but they will teach you what to do to that child. So it's different than a normal child, because a child, you know, who is really like have all the senses and know
stuff, yeah.
and you know what they're doing is different than a child who have a situation, right? Because a child who have a situation, guess what happened? We have to know how to do
Yeah,
it.
we have to definitely know.
As a parent. So we are the one who need the help, not the child. Because
no.
the child don't really
Don't
know
know what's
too
going
much
on.
of what they are doing. So therefore, we as the parents need help. But this program, we're talking about those that really have the ability to learn and know what they're doing. You know, it's so rough because some parents said to me, he said, Chaplain Odette, you know, my child hit me. How am I gonna go out and tell someone that I get hit from my child? You know, when she said that, I goes, for me personally, it's not something for me to feel sorry for the mom, but I said to the mom, but how are you going to deal with it? You can't cover it up because it's going to come out. If it doesn't come out in your home, it's going to come out there. Your child can go out there and do the same thing. What are you going to say? You did not know about the situation?
No, you know.
So therefore, you're going to lie on your children and or your child and sink your child deeper into the situation. Now that child going to get more aggressive and going to really come home and say, Mommy, and get more angry. So parents, please don't cover up. Your children need you. Help your children, because guess what happened? If we don't help them, they're gonna look elsewhere for help, and the help that they're looking for, they might get other one that gonna gang up on you out there. And hey, you don't want to be at a place that you won't want to be. All right, so let us teach our children the way of life, and let it start right in your home.
You have to build it from your home, because that's where the love shows, and that's where the discipline show. So definitely the home should everything start from.
And I can tell a lot of parents, you can't tell me, you know, maybe very rare, you know, you can find you hear, oh, you know, your child did something, and I go, so really? But I'm telling you, the majority of time, it's, you know what's going on. Because if you have your children, right, and you know your children, and one day your children just started to react in different ways, you know, it's time for you, you know, to really, as old people say, nip it in the bud and get to know what is happening.
Because that child could...
What is happening?
That child maybe smoke something.
Exactly, that you
and
don't
it is
know.
brain now. And definitely they don't know what else to do. And so they start to react different situations.
They need your help. You have to make sure your children understand what physical, emotional boundaries are as well. Because when they do something, so the next time you do it, this is what's going to happen. And if they do it a next time, then you're going to make sure to do what you said you was going to do. Because the moment you bypass that, I can tell you for sure, eruption is in your house. Your kid going to keep on doing it and doing it and do it again. So parents, come on. Let us take a stand. We love our children, right? So if you love your children, let us find help for them. Let us help them with the situation that they're going through, because you don't want them to go out there and violate what's out there, the people out there, and end up in the situation that you want them to. You know, I know we get a very quiet audience today. I'm not sure, because I did a lot of interview and I get a lot of feedback. And I said to the parents out there, don't be afraid. You know, nobody gonna know it's you who call in. Don't be afraid, because people need to hear your views. Maybe somebody gonna say something to help you, or you gonna say something to help that one. All right, I know the program is coming to a close, and I'm pretty sure that you learned something from DJ Tanka and I.
Yes.
And again, yes, you can call us off the air.
A lot of people even
Don't
texting,
be
but
afraid.
we want you to call.
We want you to call in. I know we want you to call in. There's nothing to be afraid or ashamed of.
Definitely.
One more day in the struggle. I forget up and go jungle. You don't know. Want a little sugar no pan. Me not secret trouble no man. Oh, said I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. Be strong. All up for meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down. Keep your head above the water. Stay. One day things must get better. Be strong. And I say, all up for meditation. One day things
you heard about the water chart, one day things must get better. The rich is wise in his own conceit, but the fool with overstanding searcheth him out.
Right, welcome back. Parents, we also have to know when we're sending mixed messages to our children, we're not doing them any right. So if you said to your child in the past, don't allow this to happen again. Don't cross these boundaries in the past without consequences. She or he will get mixed messages. Your word have to say what you're saying. You know, the boundaries that you set, you have to make sure that child go through it. You know, you have to show action, because, you know, when you say, okay, the next time you do this, this is what's going to happen, and you don't do it, your children, it's like you're not helping your kid. You're not helping your children at all. It's getting worse. So we have to you carefully communicate, you know, with our children. Let them know the consequences of the abusive behavior. You know, tell them, you know, this is what's gonna happen. All right. So we're not gonna. You have any more to say, DJ Tanka?
Definitely, this not really, because definitely that point of telling the parents that you should set your ground straight, and that discipline come in the house, because no matter what, if you don't show no discipline, definitely they're gonna stray away, and then no, it's gonna cause a lot more damage to you and that child.
And the other thing, you know, with abuse, like when children abuse, they call it domestic violence, right? And for children who are at age, you know, it's something that's going against your record. And remember, your children growing up, they want to have a family. You don't want to hear when they go for a job, you hear, oh, this is against your record, that like domestic violence. Even though I love you, I will call the police if you do something and it's not under my control. You will hold accountability for your behavior. It's not my behavior, because as a parents, we have to know, we're teaching them over and over. And if a child keep repeating something that you keep, you know, putting them at the consequences that they have to feel over and over, then you know it's out of your hand. You need help, because you did all that you can. You know, you can't repeat the same thing over and over, because your child or your children will take you for a joker. So you as parents have to say, this is going to be in the hands of the authority, and that's not a nice place for your children to go. It is so sad, because if my children have to do something and I reach to a point that I can't do anything, and they said, oh, you have to hand them over to the authority, I don't know how I'm going to feel, but you have to also know you're helping that child.
It's so sad, because a lot of us parents around this side of North America, we work a lot and don't have time for our kids. A lot of parents do that. So definitely they don't feel that connection with that child. So if you don't feel that connection with that child, a lot of time teachers reach out to you. If your child teachers or coach or other authority figures report that your child is aggressive towards them or toward the peers, that show a lot of empathy. So definitely when that teacher see that aggressive and call you for that aggressive behavior to that child, you should take it up in hand, because a lot of us do 16 hours a day just to put food on the table. You don't have no time for your child. That's a big, big issue again. So you don't share that love with them. They're going to go other places, and that's where damage again.
Yeah. And that is sad, because, you know, as a parent, even when the teacher called and said, oh, you know, Mrs. Mellish, your child came in late, you know, it bothers you so much. Rather than hearing, you know, especially hearing a teacher call and say your children abuse this one, you know, how you going to feel? So for those parents, you know, who say, how can I go out there and tell others that my child abused me? It's very, very shameful and embarrassing. I understand that, but you also have to try to get help for your children before it escalates and they damage somebody in the public, or, you know, you hear later on, you know, Mistress Mellish or whoever, the police have your child. I heard, somebody sent something and said, I heard that teachers call authority on a 4-year-old black child in Canada. I don't like that. Okay. Honestly, I think that's really, I don't understand. If this is the truth, right? I think that teacher, it's something about racism or the teacher may. I don't know how to put it, but that's
That's a
out
baby.
of it.
To be
4
honest, that's a
years
baby.
old.
That's a baby.
Even
That's a baby.
even though a child 16 years old, and so I would like to talk to the mom first
Yes.
rather than calling the authority. 4 years
Years old.
old.
That's a baby.
You know, I remember when my daughter was in kindergarten, she was 4 years old, and I went to pick her up. The class was outside,
Yes.
and a little boy slapped her right in the face. And
Wow.
honestly, I was in a rage and I was going at the mom because I goes, there's nothing I can do.
to
They
that
have to
baby.
hold me back. I'm telling you, because I was so angry. And then the teacher said to me, Mistress Mellish, and they called me and they said, this is the second time now that child did it. So we're telling the parents, guess what happened? You have to, I'm going to suspend this child,
yeah.
and you have to get the situation right.
Under
and they
control.
they took it on, and they was dealing with the parents. When they found out that there was domestic violence going on at
Okay.
home. So honestly, I was so angry that I was going to slap that mom back. I'm
Back,
sorry to say it, because you know a 4 years old child will not just do that.
No.
Then learn something, and it makes me angry to know you as a mom, certain thing that you're doing in your home, do not let your children see, because
No.
children live what they learn. Right? So if they're supposed to come and say to me, Mrs. Mellish, Emmanuel slapped somebody, first thing I'm going to say, my goodness, where did she pick this up from? So I'm going to know it's something that she learned from her friends out there, because it definitely not happening in the home.
No.
So parents, take time out to teach your children. And when you hear something happen, please do not jump down your children's throat. Get to know what's happening. There's some other message here. That's too much that they could have handled. Okay, yes, I know the teacher. They could, if that's the truth. You know, I think the teacher could have do better than call in the
Way
authority
better, way
for
better.
a
That's a
4
baby,
years
come on.
old, for
That's
a
a
4
baby.
years old child. All right, so that one is way out of context right now, because as your teenager to like, if you hear anything wrong with your teenager, hey, before you jump down and call the police, try to get to the bottom of it to know why is he or she reacting that way.
Living the lies. Living the lies. Living the lies. What does it prosper? What does life offer? I'm not living no lies.
No lies, no lies, no
I'm
lies.
not living no lies.
No lies, no lies.
I'm not living no lies.
No lies, no lies.
What does it prosper?
What does it prosper?
What does life offer?
What does life
Come
offer?
again. I'm not living no lies.
No lies, no lies, no
I'm
lies.
not living no lies.
No lies, no lies.
I'm not living no lies.
No lies, no lies.
What does it prosper?
What does it prosper?
What does life offer?
What does life offer?
See, we're living every day, working so hard to get our pay. On the little that we collected, it's like rewards of living in hell.
All right. So as we're coming to a close with our program, you know, we are here to help parents and to also get some feedback as to how to deal with abusive situation when your children abuse you. You know, it's hard when your children do things that they're not supposed to do. So this boiled down to the road to a healthy relationship with your children. You get to know your children.
true.
That when your children started to react, you know, this is out of context. It is not happening from this home. It's something that they get out there. You have to learn to know your children reaction, their behavior, and everything like that. Because if you know your children, if somebody come and say, Mr. Smellish, Emmanuel steal a cup, I'll say, that's
No,
not
no,
Emmanuel.
no, because
You
you
have
know
to
your
get
child.
to know your child. So when situations started, you have to get to know right off the bat. When you see red flag, deal with the situation. So yes, it boils down to you have to know your children. The road to a healthy relationship with your children is to get to know your children. Your child will very likely to take time to train. The Bible teaches you to train up a child in the way that he or she should be, that when they grow old, they will never depart from it. There is no shortcut or quick fix when your children do anything. You have to acknowledge their behavior and deal with it right away. If they have to face the consequences, I can tell you, parents, stand up. Let your children face the consequences and don't drift away from the word of God, which is the remedy for each and every situation into this world. So parents, don't be ashamed. There is help out there. There is help. Call someone. Call, because in this country there's so many programs that you can attend and get help for your children, to deal with situations that you cannot handle at home. Do it for your child. Love your children. Show them mommy and daddy are here for them. All right. So here at the Mellish Family Studio, this is the place to be at each and every Friday with the power of the woman with DJ Tanka and Chaplain Odette. And every Saturday we have the
Culture Vibes.
Yeah, and there's music that can rock your world. And Sunday, hey, you cannot forget the creator of heaven and earth who sustain you unto this day. Right? We have the spiritual corner where you get to praise and worship the Almighty. And don't forget the spicy topic, the Richer Vibes, every Sunday from 6 until. All right. So the Mellish Family Studio here also. Not forget. Hey,
look at these beautiful shirts, eh?
Yeah, we
Definitely.
do printing. We print t-shirts, we print cups, mugs,
everything.
you name it. At the Mellish Family Studio, there is not a dull moment. You can also talk to us off air. The number to call is 647-326-4797. And we thank each and every one of you for tuning in. So don't forget to share, subscribe, and hey, tell someone about the Mellish Family Studio. Until then, from DJ Tanka and Chaplain Odette, we love you. Have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful week.